Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So in our last video, I did a little unboxing and initial impressions of the venerable Nikon D750. And of course I mentioned that I have the 24-120 f4 VR from Nikon to test with it. But I wanted to just give you a little bit more of initial impressions on the lens itself, because it deserves it. This is a really nice lens. Just to give you an idea about the boxing and whatnot, you get, first little box on the top that comes out has your lens hood, which I have on the lens here, as well as it comes with a pouch, a lens pouch from Nikon. So that's included in the price, which is nice to see because we should be getting that at this price level. It's not a cheap lens, but I still think it's good value for what you're getting because it is an excellent lens. I think these retail, I'm going to double check this for you, but I think they're around 12 to 13 right now. I think if you buy it in a kit configuration with the D750 or even perhaps with the D610 or another body, you can get it for around $1,000, so it becomes a really good deal then. The nice thing is it is a constant f4, straight from 24 millimeters right up to your 120, and a very sharp, very well corrected lens, according to all the reviews I've seen on it and the tests and the data information I've seen on the lens. Packaging for the lens came with your manual and a warranty card, of course, which is in here as well. I like how Nikon's kind of gone to everything about the packaging here is cardboard. Not only do I think it really is a better way of packaging for the environment, I think it actually yields better protection because I think you're getting a little more impact absorption than you perhaps were with the harder styrofoam blocks and things like that. So in any case, it comes well packaged. You got your manuals in there, your warranty card. The lens comes in protective plastic wrap, and of course, as I showed you here, we have the top box that has the hood that comes with the lens, as well as a lens pouch at no extra cost. So that's all included there. Now, the lens itself, it actually lends itself, no pun intended, pretty nicely to the D750 as an all-around lens. I like this lens better than the 24-85 VR kit lens that they've been pairing with the D610, and also I think they've been pairing it with the D750 here as well, for a couple of reasons. That lens is a very nice lens, and for the price is very good value. However, it's a variable aperture lens, 3.5 to 4.5. This is a constant aperture f4. Granted, 4.5 to f4 is not a lot, but still, it's a nice constant aperture f4, and mostly here the advantage is in the length, the 24 to 120. Better all travel lens, walk around lens, because you've got 24 to 120 instead of 24 to 85, and sometimes 85 feels a little short, and that little extra reach of 120 is all you need for a walk around lens, a general lens that will do everything for you. Being a constant aperture f4 also, and with the reputed incredible high ISO abilities of this camera, the D750 or even with the D610. F4 is probably fast enough for most people. If you want shallower depth of field, you're probably going to move to a prime. You're probably going to move to a 50 f1.8 or a 50 f1.4, an 85, something in a faster prime that's really going to take advantage of that shallow depth of field. So this lens for me, price aside, and I think it's very good value. It's just more expensive than the 24 to 85. But price aside, this is probably your optimum general zoom that I would look at purchasing if I was getting the D750 today or the D610 or any of the other full frame cameras for that matter. Very nicely built. It does extend a fair bit. Certainly it's not an internal zoom for those of you that weren't aware of that, but it has a nice feel to the zoom ring, pretty solid, pretty smooth. And we have on the side here manual to auto switch to go to full manual versus autofocus. We've got our VR on and off, and then we also have our switches for VR, which is from normal to active, which is just different settings for your VR, mostly if memory serves, for whether or not you're using it on a tripod versus a handheld. and or I'd have to double check that. It may not be tripod to handheld. That may be the new one that's for versus active shooting versus not. I do a lot of portrait work and a lot of wedding work and a lot of stills, landscape and whatnot. So I'm not somebody that's out there tracking fast-moving sports or tracking planes or other action things. So those settings to me, I've always really left them in normal, and I really haven't gotten into playing with them. So that's why it just doesn't pop out on off the top of my head. Nice that they included a lens hood, nice big lens hood. This is the HB53 that comes with that there, and it's not that deep, but that's probably more a function of you don't want the hood to interfere at the 24mm range. So, but it does give you some protection. My way I like to shoot is no filters to degrade my quality of my good glass that you've paid all that money for. You use the lens hood and just be careful, and the lens hood's going to protect you from most of any damage you're going to get if you're careful, and it also is going to stop you from obviously from getting unwanted flare and things like that when you're in different situations. Nice feel to the focus ring. Not as smooth. I mean, it's certainly not. It's not Leica or Zeiss smooth, but decent. It's not bad. Overall, nice build quality. Really looking forward to putting this lens through its paces, especially on the 750, because everything I've heard from both friends and reports and whatnot is that this lens is very, very sharp right throughout the range. And it's just a great general all-around lens, and a good, very good addition to your lens stable. So we'll let you know how the lens performs. Obviously, let you know how it performs on the D750, and we'll keep you up to date. We'll show you some samples, and we'll be back with updates on that. Probably give you a 2-week review of the lens after I've been shooting with it for a couple weeks on the 750, and I may even throw it on an APS body like the D5200 that I have, just to give you an idea of how it works on there, because effectively you're looking at it gives you that 1.5 crop, so you're getting into 38mm to 180 or something. So quite an interesting range too on an APS body. Not that I'd probably recommend this lens if you're only shooting APS, but if you plan to upgrade down the road into a full frame body, then by all means it might be better to invest in this than an APS lens at the moment. So anyways, there you go folks. That's it on the D750. Not an altogether huge lens. Not a tiny lens, but not overly big lens. Really great working zoom range. Love the fact that it's f4, constant aperture throughout, and that it's VR. Build quality seems really nice. Overall, first impressions, initial impressions are very favorable with the lens, and we'll let you know as we shoot with it how that develops. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some new videos, some new articles. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography, videography, and technology. We'll keep you filled in on the new lens and the D750, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in.